Of all the provinces we've traveled through on this bike tour so far, Shaanxi is #1 in terms of people turning their courtyards into little solar farms. Chinese suburbia. 哎呀，这个美颜！我的妈呀，这是谁呀？ Welcome to China's mysterious Northwest. I'm Katherine, and I'm on a bike tour across North China with my husband, Asa John. The spring chapter of our journey began in the bustling megacity of Xi'an. From there, we headed north to the craggy landscapes of the Loess Plateau in Shaanxi province.
这是我以前生长的地方。
And in today's video, we're going to be crossing from Shaanxi province into Gansu province. This 200-kilometer route includes exploring tiny cities wedged into ravines.
什么国人啊？
美国.
美国和伊朗在大战吗？
Beautiful ornate architecture. I found my favorite room, the chicken doorway room. Scenic quiet villages. This is where we just came from. The hills are rough today. And tons of encounters with friendly and curious locals.
去吃麦没有？
好玩吗？
还可以。
If you're interested in what life in China is like outside of the mega cities and most famous tourist spots, you've come to the right place. Off we go, everyone. We 喜欢走小路。那些大路上火车多，太吵了。这边安静。
那你是哪里地方跑这儿的？是哪里？
还可以吧，美国。
我是新疆的。
那你也知道路，你可能知道路。
他老家离这边2000多公里呢。Even though sometimes the tiny village backroads take us way off course from the main road, or sometimes they turn into dirt midway through, it's still so much more interesting to travel this way. One of my favorite things about exploring rural Shaanxi is admiring the unique art that everyone has over their door, and there are often guardian lions on either side of the doorway as well. So there are so many little creatures and little details you can admire on people's homes, and I just love that. And in this neighborhood in particular, you cannot have any plain wall space. They will cover every inch of it with murals and slogans. It's kind of wholesome, honestly. Look at this. They're like, no plain wall. Must put something on wall. It's relatively common for villages that are undergoing rural revitalization to have murals and slogans painted on the walls of the homes, and I find it a very interesting cultural difference. If the HOA approached the residents of the neighborhood I grew up in asking to put slogans on their wall, they would all be like, huh? But it's a pretty typical sight in rural China. Anyway, another interesting thing we found in this village is the huge solar panel complexes over people's yards. They're basically an extension of the local solar farm, and the sunny and dry climate here is perfect for them.
家是租赁的，租你家的地，给你多钱就完了。光伏公司租用你家的房顶，然后装一块板，给你多少钱，然后这发出来这个电都卖给国家电网了。
那一般给多少钱一年？
一年一块板大概就是20块钱吧。
So you don't actually have to cover your whole yard because they pay you by panel. 他们会问所有村民愿不愿意吗？
对，
有意思。
问一下。租用你家的房顶，这个给你装上之后，还能隔热，还能防水，然后给你做工作。你要统一装的话，就给你装，一年大概就是1-2千块钱。
那不错呀。
这是哪国的？
美国。
美国
还不回去给打仗去？
是美国的朋友。
Hello。哎，你怎么用美元啊？1美元这个。
你看真的假的？1美元不会有假的吧？
人家都懒得做假的1美元。
商家不商家？
给他美女。
行吗？那对。
你们什么关系？
结婚了，夫妻。
夫妻啊。
对。
Very good。Snack on the road, spicy bamboo. Too many hills today. Progress is slow. Turn the lights on and it's time to keep going.
We still have another hour. There it is. This is where we're staying tonight. I feel like I'm looking at a different language. Like, what are these? I have no idea. We decided to try the hele. It's buckwheat noodles with tofu in this lamb soup that looks like it should be really spicy, but it's actually not. This is the cheapest dinner we've ever had. 5 renminbi per serving. And it's pretty good. It also comes with this. It's shredded cabbage. It actually tastes like what I think coleslaw would be like without the mayonnaise. And I hate mayonnaise. So I actually really enjoy this. It's not just the hele. Prices in general seem to be pretty cheap around here. Outdoor haircuts. It was tempting, but neither of us actually needed a haircut, so off we went. This tiny city is called Chunhua, and despite having very limited space to work with, since it's kind of cramped inside a ravine, it's pretty nice, and it also has a lot of cool architecture.
Another outdoor haircut, and we're stopping by the snack store to stock up for our ride today.
In the past few years, snack shops like this have been popping up all over China, not just in big cities, but in tiny places like Chunhua and even in a lot of towns. Yeah, a lot of it is processed sugar explosions, but if you look hard enough, you can find some somewhat healthy things in here. Then we got on the road.
Cave house.
If you saw the previous vlog, you might remember that the Loess Plateau is known for its malleable soil that is perfect for digging caves into. Even though the locals almost entirely live in apartments or brick houses now, you can still find the remains of old cave and pit houses.
So we were just riding along in this random village, and look what I found. A door! There's a little door. So here is the pit that the people used to live in, and now here's a house, and here's a house. Like 20 years ago, an entire extended family was living underground in this pit. Biggest one I've seen yet. The funny thing about this one is they seem to have had a beef with one of their family members, so they built a wall here, like, stay away. And they seem to have had their own shrine too. The topography here is so interesting. In almost everywhere on Earth that I've been, people live in the valley and there are mountains separating one region from another region. And here, people live on the plateau. And the ravine is what's separating one thing from another thing. So there are so many ravines here. If you look at it on the map, it's like, wow. You know, when I was playing this route, I was like, this place is gonna be a real bitch to bike through. And it is. The terrain here is pretty rough, y'all, and we're on a nice downhill slope right now, and I can't even enjoy it because you can literally see across the ravine what is waiting for you. This! The landscape is full of these huge ravines, and you can't possibly bridge every single one, so sometimes you go downhill and then right back up the hill. But we're having a good time anyway. I really enjoy experiencing all of these different terrains. He's just making a friend.
少坡七段，少坡那七段，什么意思？
就是翻沟呢的那坡嘛，上坡嘛。
翻沟都过来。
那个坡太大了，
我提不上来，只能推上来，推上去嘛，连有接近的饿的，推上都推死。
这是逗的。
听懂了多少？
听懂了一丢丢。
要说普通话不要对你，他说的他方言语，他不会说普通话。要人说普通话。
没事，我父母都不会说嘛，老年代。
那上一代人，像我这一代人说普通话根本说不了，像你这一代人说普通话说。
拜拜。Staying in a really tiny town tonight. 哇塞，他太厉害了呀！ We are on the second floor of this hotel.
208对吧？
Super cute rug in the room. Nice art on the wall. And it comes with this thing, so the bed is warm at night. This is what 80 yuan gets you in the middle of nowhere in Shaanxi.
Dinner and breakfast was the same thing at the same restaurant, Hele. I suppose we could have switched it up and tried something else, but a lot of the other restaurants were also serving Hele.
Same name, same logo, same color, same everything. So is one of them a knockoff? Which one is the real one? 路对面怎么还有一家跟你们名字一样的呀？
对，名字一样。
你们是同一个牌子吗？
可能差不多。
那你们两个开在一起不会互相干扰生意吗？
不会的。
I ordered a small. It's 4 yuan, okay, which is like nothing, and it's still a whole meal.
他在美国活不下去了，所以来中国了。
来这里让他养我。
就是 Hello 打招呼呗。
哎呀，这个美颜，那你看看这个美颜，我的妈呀，这是谁呀
？Then we set off into the middle of nowhere again, accompanied by dozens, if not hundreds, of ads for Hele.
Village gossip zone. Look at this place. Kind of a suburbia vibe, actually, with this grass median in the middle. This is like my parents' neighborhood. Oh, my parents' neighborhood does have less obstacles on the sidewalk, but still, similar vibe. This very inaccessible, very unfriendly creation here has fruit. I don't know who's expected to eat it. Birds, maybe? Wow. Finally escaped from the ravine. Ace-John's making a friend.
再走20公里就到县城了。外国人来拍个照。
好呀。
哦，美国的。
啊，我刚才说句，我说这是美国的，人家说是非洲人，俺不是。
你好。
去石门没有？
什么地方？
石门。
没听说过。
森林公园。
好玩吗？
还可以。
还可以，这个评价有点低。陕西推广大使。还可以。
大家好，今天和美国友人啊，境遇见啊，好，这是美国的啊，你看在我们土桥啊有幸遇见啊，这个偏远山区能遇见美国人是非常的荣幸啊，好。
中美关系万岁！
万岁！
After our lovely chat with the locals, we continued 20 kilometers down the road into a ravine to the city with a name that I didn't even know how to pronounce at first, because what are these characters? Anyway, it's actually called Xunyi. Traveling through Shaanxi has made me question my Mandarin proficiency. I keep running into characters here that I never see anywhere else.
Right here on the outskirts of the city, there are so many remains of cave houses. And here we are. Modern city, old cave houses. Communal photo shoot zone.
Welcome to Xunyi, another one of Shaanxi province's tiny ravine cities. We found a much larger variety of food here than in the previous places we've been through, so we had something other than hele for dinner. And then it was time to explore the local nightlife.
Okay. 调皮娃娃，像我小时候一样，没啥事儿就非得搞出一点事儿，是不是？
你也是吗？
对呀。
你是男生吗？女生不会调皮，我的意思是。
那你不懂啊，我们的女儿就会搞事情啊。
那是男生的行为，对吧？
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call a cultural difference.
Hello.
好着吗你？那他这些事情的这些回应啊。
Istang's over there playing basketball with strangers, as he does. And I'm just sitting here on this field, admiring the night vibe. And I'm also surrounded by an audience of curious children, as you can see over here. All these children just came swarming out of nowhere.
什么国人啊？
美国。
美国和伊朗不是在大战吗？
对，在大战。几点上学啊？早上
6、7点。
6、7点，你们还熬这么晚呀？
是啊。
While the younger kids are frolicking on the athletic field, the high schoolers are just getting off school now.
每天都这样吗？
对呀，出门口的都有。我周日也上学，下午2点。
High school here is split into 2 different tracks. There is the college track, and there is the whatever the other one is called. Wow, English fail. So if you are on the college track, competition is fierce. Lunchtime. This restaurant is so popular that we're actually sharing a table with 2 random guys because there isn't enough food. This is beef soup with these little crispy bread things. Istar likes to throw all of his bread in at once, so it gets super maximum mushy. And I like to put mine in little bits at a time, so it doesn't get mushy.
It may look like a simple meal, but don't underestimate it. This place is in the top 3 of our favorite restaurants the entire northwest part of this journey. Super delicious soup, perfect crispy bread. If you ever happen to find yourself in Xunyi, don't miss it.
Ad on a wall for ads on walls. This village has some historically significant ancient architecture, so we've gone on a little detour to check it out. Unfortunately, it is currently being renovated and it is noisy as heck in here. And check out the view. Ravine in the background. Here are the abandoned cave houses where the peasants lived. And then this is the mansion of the aristocrats. They do not want a single leaf to land in this courtyard. So they've actually covered all of the open spaces with mesh to collect the leaves. If you're curious what happens when it rains in this courtyard, they do seem to have a little drainage thingy so it doesn't turn into a little pond in the middle. This is the guest receiving room. And now we are entering the longevity room. Yes, they have a room dedicated to celebrating birthdays. Is that not the most wholesome thing ever? That is some rich people-ish right there. Okay, so not just birthdays, also a baby's first 3 days, baby's first month, the coming of age ceremony, things we peasants would just do in the living room, these people had a dedicated room for. I found my favorite room, the chicken doorway room. And check out these high ceilings, by the way. Like, whoa. I really admire the taste of rich people from 200 years ago. The wall art gallery resumes. Shaanxi 特色呀. Some of the wall hangings are printed onto the wall and some of them are made out of tile. And although you can get higher detail in the printed ones, I have to say I feel like the tile ones are just cuter. See, this is one of the printed ones. It's very detailed, it's very beautiful, but it's just not as charming as the tile ones. That's just my personal feeling. Let me know what you guys think though. Some interesting fusion homes here. A little bit of cave house, a little bit of concrete house, a little bit of brick house.
Well, in my absence, I'll be surely missing. I've been working every day, and I sure hope you love this too. And if it gave you cause to doubt me, hope you always think about me. And if you think I will find another, it ain't true.
哎呀，我听你一吃，你再改。
逗得很，做好心理准备。
逗得很。
Keep the home fire burning while I'm gone. I'll be back to fan the flame, it won't be long. Just a while, then I'm back where I'm home.
我们生活在杭州。
生活在杭州。
对，去过杭州吗？
这杭州没去过，这地方知道。
我也是农村人，我父母也是农民。
你是啥族人嘛？
维吾尔族。
哦，我看你们照相就是维吾尔族，我们是汉族人。
Home fire burning while I'm gone.
Rough day today, y'all. We are finally out of the ravine and we have 30 minutes left. We are the only customers at this ungodly hour. It is 8:30 p.m., which is like the middle of the night in these kind of places. Little bro's getting his math lesson. Suddenly, the graffiti I saw earlier today makes so much more sense. There is no escape from math. Look at my boy preening in front of the mirror. And we got this nice, warm, toasty stove here. Interesting contraption over here. Oh my gosh, this kid cannot catch a break. More lessons coming. 小朋友长大了要去清华北大，是不是？ Eggs with peppers has arrived. And this is our soup. With these two biscuits on the side. 9:30 p.m. This little shop is open. And everything else is either closed or currently closing. This is the hotel we're staying at. And look at this cute little money tree. And a frog. And another cute little poster. Haven't seen one of these rooms for a while. This is the wedding room. They gave us 2 blankets because it's cold, and also they have this thingy that heats it up. The only flaw is the lack of a window, which is a tragedy, but oh well. Not everything can be perfect in these small town hotels. Hello, 小朋友。
想不想去美国？我等你去美国。想不想去美国呀？我等你去美国。
第一次见小朋友对蔬菜这么热情。
小朋友需要我的帮忙吗？我们一起吃可以吧？那我帮你吃呗。在哪儿呢？我帮你吃。
小朋友在想，这也是人类吗？还是什么东西啊？ Daily ritual of observing people's derpy lions. I mean, look at this guy. I want this next to my house. How do I get one of these? I want one. Aren't the tile ones cool? They're like 3D. Look at his curly mane, it's 3D.
Looking at the beautiful tile art and the big fancy fortress looking doors and the solar panels, it's easy to forget what this place was just a few decades ago. But as soon as you reach the edge of the ravine, you're reminded.
Back in the day, the walls of the ravine were people's homes. Kind of creepy biking through here. It's like a ghost town. Everything is completely abandoned. There are just all these shells left of what was once someone's home. No need to take the drone out here. I am the drone.
We didn't even realize it at the time, but this was actually our very last village in Shaanxi province.
This is where we just came from. The hills are rough today. So that is a view worth climbing a hill for 2 hours to get. That is pretty sick. No, not another hill. We're tired of hills today. Finally on flat ground for the first time in hours, and we are also in a new province. This is Gansu province, so I'm very excited to show you guys this fascinating place. I've been to Gansu one other time, and I thought it was so cool, but it's just so out of the way, you know, it's not very easy to get to. So now I'm glad we are finally back to explore more of Gansu. I dare say the houses here are even cuter than Shaanxi. Not only do they have the guardian lions and the cool thingies above the door, they also have all these beautiful tile things on the roof. Wow, look at this. I haven't seen a shrine this fancy in a while. Gansu province style Chinese suburbia. Whoa. Yep, they've got it easy, but we are about to go into a ravine.
First night staying in Gansu province, our destination is a tiny town located on top of one of the countless plateaus in this region. And this place is where we'll continue the next installation of our bike tour adventures. We're now worlds away from our starting point in the megacity of Xi'an, and in the next vlog, we plan to delve even deeper into this craggy terrain. It's not a well-known part of the country by any means, but it's been one of the most interesting sections of our bike tour, and it's been such a joy to share this unique architecture, these otherworldly landscapes, and my encounters with friendly locals with all of you from around the world. In the next video, we'll be making our way even further into Gansu province. From markets to nostalgic villages, from carnivals to cave mansions. Stay tuned, and I will see you all next time.